1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
you doing?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, I know you from all the
Yeah.
meetings and everything.
Unfortunately, I'm out there a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't believe that for a second. Fun stuff. Oh, that's me. We're gonna keep the music playing? Is this awkward? Hey, Anthony. You got it, all right. I mean, we could just dance for on stage. Oh, I'm live. Hey, everybody. Good to see you all for our Maryland sales meeting. We are out in our beautiful White Marsh location, and we are just super pumped to finally be launching this with the grand opening. You know, we're a little bit further away, and I get to make fun of her until she gets here because somebody doesn't know how to set an alarm and wake up to an alarm. So Sarah will be here at some point. She's going to be fashionably late today. We've got a Maryland sales meeting here today. We're going to have a lot of good fun. And then we're going to go next door to Michael's Cafe, have lunch and learn midday. And then if you are in the area, come back here 2:30 today. We got our big grand opening party. We'll have some food, some drinks, cut some ribbon, have some fun. So I encourage you to come back this afternoon and enjoy the fun. If you haven't seen this White Marsh office here, it's beautiful. We've got 11,000 square feet, something like that. And it's all brand new, lots of beautiful stuff here. And it's funny, every time the staff comes back, they're like, I love that White Marsh office. Why can't our office be this nice? So you guys got to stop doing that. I can't redo our whole Chantilly headquarters. It's a big place. But we're excited to be here today. We're going to have some fun, go over some updates. The first thing I love to jump into is, you know, all you agents that did an amazing job. What month are we in now? October? So September. We're going to give the September, the winners, or not winners, the best people as far as sales volume and transactions for September. So we're super excited and proud of all these folks. First, I like to do top individuals by volume. So this is volume and sales, and then we'll do transactions. Sam Gupta, $4.8 million in September. Just an amazing job, Sam. Awesome job. Venkat Guram, just over 3.3, almost 3.4 million. Chartiste Torrance, and you're the assistant manager of Boo. That was a big one. You had a $2.8 million sale. So good job there, Chartiste. Althea Hurst. So Althea, she runs the Hurst home team, and they just joined us best week and a half ago. We're excited to have Althea and her team with us. I think her team is rock stars, and we're pointing. Are we pointing? Are you on the Althea team? Or what are you? Oh, the next one. I was like, no, that's not Althea. I just met Althea 2 weeks ago. I was like, Marisol. Okay, you got me distracted. I was thinking about Althea. Sorry about that, Bill. But Althea and her team is off to a great start, 2.7. Marisol Bonds, great job, 2.7 million. From our White Marsh office here today. So good to see you. We've only talked on the phone, so it's nice to meet you in person here, Marisol. Number of transactions. So this is top transaction count for the month. So some similar names, but a couple new ones. Sam Gupta, 13 transactions in the month of September. Amazing job. I don't know how that guy does it, but he's a go-go gadget Sam. Althea Hurst, 7 transactions. Venkat Guram, Ebony Jones, and Tom Corcoran, 6 transactions each. So fantastic job by all of you all of our great agents in Maryland, but these were the top for the month of September. Our teams, we want to recognize some great teams as well. Top teams in volume for the month of September. The Westerland Group out of our Clarksville office, over 5.8 million. So great job to the Westerland Group and that family. Team Flow D out of our Bowie office, almost 3.5 million in sales in September. Team Harper, Carl Harper and team, just under 3.2 million. The Robinson Group, just under 2 million last month. And Gold Key Property Group, Tila Thorne and the Thorne, Ashley and Tila and your guys' group from National Harbor, great job, almost 1.8 million in the month of September. And then our team transactions count. So a lot of great teams here. Westerland Group did 11 transactions. Team Flow D with 9. Gold Key Property Group with 5. The Robinson Group, 4.5. The Wealth Builders Group and Avo Realty both with 4 transactions each in the month of September. So great job by all of you all. And keep looking for October. I'm sure those totals are going to roll in. So we're just doing maybe 2 years ago, and sometimes these would be like 1 million. The bar's been lifted because we've gotten so many in individually and team wise. All of a sudden you got these top. Somebody maybe is going to.
Yes, good morning.
Would you like some slides?
Do y'all want to know how fast I drove this morning? Oh, I was like Mario Andretti.
She didn't crash, so we've got that going for her.
Oh, look, so I can talk while you're talking. So it was funny because I told him I went to bed last night, and I was like, Alexa, right? Because we all talk to Alexa, set an alarm for 6:45 tomorrow. Okay, alarm set. Well, it was after midnight when I went to bed. So Alexa set, tomorrow I will be up at 6:45.
Oh,
so I texted him, and I'm
it didn't really gather in my head when you texted that what that meant, but it's because you couldn't actually set an alarm on your phone. You were like,
right, I just told Alexa.
Okay.
So let me just point out, though, I
but it was
texted him,
already
I'm like,
today.
I am one of these people. Makeup, clothes, everything getting put on in the car, like 11 minutes in the shower, dried the hair, out the door. Like, this was the fastest I had ever gotten ready in my life, and then I had so much fun, Mario Andretti on the.
So she was Mario Andretti while putting on her makeup in the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was talking to me.
It's pretty. It's not
Nellie's
too tough from us.
Nellie's my car.
It's Toll Road 495, 95. We're here. It's not too bad from the Chantilly area.
It was such a great drive, and I made it in record time. So I apologize for being unfashionably late.
So well, we started a few minutes late, so you're okay. So we got through all our top award winners. The next thing I wanted to talk about was we've got some great staff updates. We mentioned these in our last Chantilly sales meetings, but both these lovely ladies are here today, so I wanted to embarrass them and make them come up and say hi to you all so you know who they are. So our lovely host for today is our new White Marsh manager, Roxanne Wiley.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, we have to give her a mic. You want to give her a...
You get to be on the TV and you get to have to talk to us in person here.
Yes.
So I think that's on. Ethan, can you hear us okay? So welcome, Roxanne. Well, you've been with us for a while here, but great to take over as manager here. So.
Yes, very excited. Been here since January with my team, my husband Bob, and a couple people on our team, and manager for a week and a half, and I appreciate you all welcoming me with open arms.
There you go. And
Thank you. We're excited to have you.
Roxanne also
thank
lives
you.
right down the street here, so she can, keep an eye on the place. But she can't tell. I can't tell you guys that because then you're gonna expect her to come by and see you quickly if she needs you.
Roxanne, I'm locked out.
I'm locked
Can you
out. Come
let
help
me
me.
in?
But
You can never be late.
Right.
but Roxanne and Bob are fantastic pros, and they've been in this business for a long time, and we're blessed to have Roxanne help
Absolutely.
take control and be a great manager here for White Marsh. So welcome, Roxanne.
Welcome.
And then,
Oh, now we have short and spicy.
and then up the road, we announced this a couple weeks ago, but this lady has become one of my favorites. But we're about 20 minutes up the road here in our Bel Air office, and first of all, I want to say thank you both these ladies, but Bill Lofton, did a great job in this White Marsh office. I get deja vu if anybody's been up here. I come up here and we were across the street and we're looking around, and Bill was there with me from day one, trying to figure out where to go, looking all over, and Bill for the last year has helped really. This place was a shell, and he helped babysit it and help get it to where it is today. So I really want to thank Bill Lofton if you're out there watching, and hopefully I'll see you later today. I'll stop by, Bill. But, really just did a great job and put some care into helping get this office to the beautiful place it is today. So thank you, Bill, for all your efforts.
And it's gorgeous.
And in that same breath, she doesn't know. She walked in 5 seconds ago.
I did. I looked around. I kind of went the wrong direction, and I was like, oh, not that way. We're going this way. So I got a tour.
In that same breath, and Bel Air was on a similar time schedule, and that one was closer to ready, but Tracy Sims, you did a great job helping us grow that office and get it ready. So thank you for all your help. But we have a new era, and this lady has been in the business. I won't say how many years because she won't. A lot of years, but she is full of personality and vigor. I know she's going to bring so much energy to our Bel Air office and so much leadership, and it's going to only do great things now. But Miss Barbara Pritchard, you have to come up and say hi to us.
You got to come up and say hello.
Oh gosh. Now, before you get here, Sarah, she said she gets nervous when she gets on this mic, and I don't believe
Why?
it. Just say hi and
You
wave,
got to talk
Barbara.
into that.
Hi and wave.
Hi and wave.
I want to thank him for calling me. He did. He called and asked me if I would take over, and I go, okay. I mean,
It's a great story.
seriously. I
There's
remember
so
the
many
date.
details.
It was September 10th.
There you
I
go.
have a thing for numbers. I do.
But
I
between
had-
Barbara and I, it was not that short because we both will talk to you.
They will both talk.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not on camera, but on the phone, so it was not that
Well,
quick.
I did sell Noah his ark. Just do the math. Just do the
Oh,
math.
she's giving it back to me. She goes, take this.
Well,
That's hilarious.
Barbara is fantastic. We know that she's not one for the mic, but in person, you will love her, and she's welcoming you with open arms in Bel Air, and she's got some friends coming
Yes.
down here to our Lunch and Learn today, and going to be a part of our festivities down here at White Marsh. So good to see you, Barbara and Roxanne. Welcome to the leadership team, and we're so very thankful to have you both helping us out.
Yes.
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 Nice follow up there, Sarah.
You're welcome. Well, you said everything I wanted to say.
There you go. We also have a couple other announcements, and most of you guys are aware of this, but you never know. We did officially move from our Bethesda office down to our beautiful Rio location, so you can see that slide that is the beautiful Rio lakefront. We've had multiple feedbacks from Bruce and the gang that people just stop at Settlement and they look over the lake and they're like, I love this view, I love this office, and I think people are a little bit jealous as they go up there because it's another one of our gorgeous offices. The problem with making these nice offices is everybody goes and visits them, and then they come back and they tell me, why is our office as nice as
We
the
have
other?"
such nice tall ceilings.
There you go. Barbara likes the Bel Air office. so
You
good.
have some great character in your office.
Yes.
Yeah, you have great character.
We have, and Chantilly, we have tall ceilings, so we have that going for us.
We have
So
tall ceilings.
Yeah. Kelly says she likes White Marsh, but
I'm
she needs
all for the lake.
So we'll try to create a lake out here for her in White Marsh. You have a stormwater management pond over there.
Hey,
so
there
maybe
you
that'll work.
go. Well, yeah.
That'll work.
We'll put a little picnic table out there. We can all, gather by the stormwater
Gather by the
management.
stormwater management pond.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can walk to shopping down here. We can't do that a lot of the offices,
No.
so we have that going for it.
You'll die on Lee
On
Road
Rio,
in the
you can
office.
walk down to lots of restaurants and shopping, and you can actually do a paddle boat in the lake. So it's a beautiful location.
Oh, that's fun.
We have about 10,000 square feet there. We are fully open there. That is kind of where Cardinals headquarters is for Maryland, D.C., although we have staff all over the place, including 3 great staffers here in White Marsh. But we are going to do a little bit of construction in one corner here in the next couple months because I want to reconfigure some of the offices for long term. It works great for now, but I want to create 4, 5, 6 more offices in one corner. That'll happen here in a couple months. I'm also going to blow out a wall and make the kitchen and hangout area much better for us. If we're going to be there 9 or 10 years, I want it to be perfect. So if you go by there, it looks great now. It's going to look even better when we're done with some of that construction. And we're going to be able to put up a curtain and still live in the other 7,000 to 8,000 square feet while they're working on that one corner there. So we're excited about that movement. Tall ceilings. We also got new carpet 2 years ago.
We did. We still have yellow paint, but we
Not
have
all over. Some places.
some places.
People,
All the main.
It's never enough.
I would like to just do a little more.
We painted some walls black and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Some
really cool.
stuff.
That's super cool because we have our new, if you haven't seen it in a lot of our offices, we have our new value wall up with Sampson Properties and all the values we have in the company, and it looks super neat. I'm sure they don't have one loaded, but it looks super neat.
So as I said earlier today, we are going to be in Michael's Cafe, which is just 50 yards down the parking lot.
Literally right
here.
across the parking lot.
So if you do have anybody in the area or you're that are interested in joining Sampson, we'd love to. I'm going to go down and give a presentation all about Sampson, 12 to 2:30. If they can't make it today, God bless you, Barbara. We always have that presentation.
Now
up at
everyone
Join
online knows
Sampson.
it's you that sneezed. Everyone.
I could have just said bless you without your name. But
Way to sneeze there, Barbara.
you can always go to joinsamson.com to watch that video. I know I talked to Lindsay Walker, our Richmond manager, this morning, and sometimes people couldn't get to the presentation last week, but a bunch of people have watched it online and been
that's
able
a
to learn
great
a lot.
resource as well. If you have friends that don't necessarily want to come hang out with everybody else in the room, they don't want necessarily people to know they're looking, that Join Sampson website's perfect for the Lunch and Learn videos. And I know I get emails every day that says, hey, I want to talk to my friend. Can you talk to them? Send them to, we absolutely can talk to them, but send them to Join Sampson first so that they can sign up for a Lunch and Learn or watch those videos.
Yes. So the next couple.
Oh, look, it's your picnic shirt.
That is my picnic shirt. He did not load a picnic shirt of me wearing a picnic shirt on top of a picnic table. So
That was
they
funny.
call this my picnic shirt because I look like
all right,
I'm a picnic
hole
blanket.
in the room, doesn't it look like a picnic blanket? Like it
little
looks
bit.
like a tablecloth, right? It looks like.
So I wore this like a tablecloth, right? So I wore
Tablecloth.
this to work one day on a Friday. Went from work to a friend's house for a happy hour cookout type deal after work, and I roll in and they've laid out a blanket on the deck for the kids to eat.
It looked just like that, Barbara.
It is dead. I mean, it is off by like a little bit of a shade.
Like the tiny bit of a shade and maybe a tiny bit of the size of the squares.
So I,
Donnie being
all
Donnie.
in good fun, laid on it, had them take a picture of me. So now that is loaded for posterity. So
Yes.
it is
table shirt.
the picnic table shirt. It will live in infamy. Of
Well,
course.
the other funny part was too is that when he walked in that day, like someone said something to him about his picnic table shirt, and then he walked around the corner, and then someone else said something to him about his picnic table shirt, and then I saw him, and I'm like, "Oh, you have the picnic?" He's like, "You're the third person." Yes, so that shirt is well loved in Chantilly.
Can we go for? Well, let's do this. I'll get to that later. So a couple other Lunch and Learns coming up here. We've got November 5th. We've got the rest of October. We have a couple, or not a lot, but November 5th. I'll be a virtual.
Yep.
November 10th. So that is the next Maryland DC sales meeting. That will be in DC office. So that's going to be the triple that day as well. We're going to do the Maryland sales meeting in DC. Then we're going to do the Lunch and Learn probably in that office because downstairs there's a huge conference room. We can host it in the same building, which I think will be cool. And then we'll have the grand opening upstairs that same afternoon. So Wednesday, November 10th. If you're excited about, you haven't been to our DC office yet, circle that. That second Wednesday of the month is when we do our Maryland, D.C. stuff. So we're going to do that. And then we've got November 11th, we'll be in International Country Club of Fairfax. November 18th, we're going to have our Stafford Lunch and Learn in Stafford, Virginia, and our grand opening. And then the last one that's relevant to you all is, so I said November was D.C. Day all day. December 8th, I mentioned the Rio office. That will be our Rio big day. So we're going to do our...
Oh, we all get to go to Rio.
We all get to go to the brand new Rio office, so we're going to see we'll do our Maryland sales meeting in the morning there. They've got a huge conference room as well. We're going to do the Lunch and Learn and the lunchtime there where I can bring in new recruits. And then we'll have our grand opening party 2:30 to 4 o'clock that day in Gaithersburg Rio office as well. So November DC, December Gaithersburg, that's kind of our plan right now. I think I just mentioned
You
all
just went over the
these
grand
next couple
openings,
grand
yep.
openings, but October today is White Marsh.
Today.
November 10th, October today.
October today.
November is DC, and then November 18th is Stafford, and then Gaithersburg in December. There's one other thing that was exciting I wanted to say that's on our schedule, and this is what I almost put ahead. So this is the 21st,
Y'all
next
know
Thursday.
exactly where he's
Yes,
going,
Next
yes.
Thursday. we've got the GBBR Realtor Fairs. This is the Baltimore Area Realtors Association, and this is going to be at Martin's West Event Complex, and we have a huge double booth. We're going to set it up great. It's going to be, I've thrown a lot of stress into our staff. We're excited to do this, but we're going to talk about in a second. Our big festival is the Saturday, the 23rd, next Saturday. So me throwing an event 2 days before that was, Katie had a little bit of an aneurysm, but our staff is rallying around and doing it.
Yes.
So the 21st, next Thursday, if you're going already to this event, please stop by. We'd love to see you. I'm going to be there all day. Some of our great people are going to be hanging out there and talking to realtors and just meeting them. We're fairly new to this Baltimore area. We've got a great office in Columbia. We're here in White Marsh, Bel Air. We're not in Baltimore proper quite yet, but I'm sure we will be at some point. But we want to be out there and meeting the people. I don't know how many people are going to attend this event. Thankfully, this one, I know Barbara is. They have CE. They've got CE classes all day. There you go. So we're excited to be there. It's one of the events that held on. We've had some of these that we were planning to do, then they slid to virtual, and I didn't kind of pile onto the virtual sponsoring and virtual booths because I like to meet people in person, if at all they're going to allow it. So GBBR next Thursday, the 21st, we'll be out there.
But if you are around, stop in, hang out, because other real estate agents love to talk to our real estate agents, not just talk to us. So absolutely stop in, hang out. I'm sure we'll have candy and water and lots of goodies and
Candy.
There
you go. It's a new booth.
I will give you candy.
There you go.
Katie,
she's gonna have her own
candy.
She's gonna have her own chocolate jar in the corner,
Yeah.
apparently. So
Candy.
as a follow-up to that, because we want to have a place that we meet all these great realtors at GBPR, we're going to be hosting an additional lunch and learn. I just threw on the schedule November 2nd. It's going to be at the Inn at the Colonnade, which is in the Baltimore area. So we'll have more information out of that. But I'll be inviting people that day to come see all about us the following week, November 2nd, at the Baltimore, the Inn at Colonnade. Now, I would do it the week after, but I'm actually going to be going to Inman Conference in Vegas. So it kind of leads to I say that not that you care where I'm going, but I think that the point is that the Inman Conference and similar things, you can get a virtual pass if going to Vegas for 2 or 3 days is a lot to plan right away. But I think that learning is so valuable when it comes to our industry, and that's why, look, I don't have to necessarily go out and learn these things, but I want to go to these things, see great speakers, meet other companies, meet exhibitors. That's where we find out a lot of the things that we add to our company and how we make it better. So I'm going to be out there in Vegas for 3 days learning from all these different people and figuring out how we can make Sampson better. So if you have interest, that is next, I guess the 25th, 26th, 27th, the week after the festival. So 2 weeks from now. And you can get on and watch all that event online. The online pass is like $50 or something.
Right.
But going in person, I think is
doing the
valuable
same thing.
too.
They're doing the online thing this year as well.
Right.
With the online passes. I mean, even if you got a one-day pass and watched a couple, check out the agendas and see what's going on, because we don't, as much as we like to work in our bubble, right, this isn't everything that's going on in the world, and we can get a lot of new great ideas on how to implement things in our business, both at the Sampson level, but also at your level, at the agent level. When we're actually out doing something, you learn different prospecting methods, and you learn what's coming down the pike. Like, you learn all the things that New York's doing and California's doing, and because it's eventually going to get here, right? It's only a matter of time. So you kind of have that heads up about what's going on in the industry.
And they're great speakers. The local events are good, but when you get these national events, that's where you're going to get even the next level speaker, that I think really are powerful and have good stuff to say, and all that kind of stuff. So I'd encourage you to always be learning, and I read. Right now, I always joke, but it's real. If you go to my desktop right now, there's 10 articles open there that I plan on reading and I haven't got to, but I'm trying to knock off a couple a day. And the dirty secret is Sarah steals some of them for her Tuesday tidbits. But
would I do that?
It was funny though. I read the one yesterday. 3 things that top producers never say or never do or whatever. And then I opened up my browser and I was like, wait a minute.
That one might have been an Inman article from a couple of weeks ago. But I do credit. I always give credit that I stole it from Inman and who I stole it from. It's called regifting.
It's
regifting.
It's there for a reason. It's
Absolutely.
regifting it to you. So
well, and it's
if you like those Tuesday tidbits at all, there's lots of good stuff in there, and I read a lot of them.
On steroids, because I typically pick one out of the week if I don't have some contract thing that I need to update everybody on. I'll pick one. I mean, I read, just like he does, all these different websites, all these different newsletters every day. My inbox is full of them. So I probably read 40 or 50 articles or some type of content a week, and I pick one that I think would apply to most people. and use that when I need content for Tuesday Tidbits.
There you go.
Yes.
It's recycling.
It's regifting.
Regifting.
It's the gift that keeps on gifting.
There you go.
Yes.
Both those work. So the next thing I want to talk about a little bit is
What's coming up?
This is new to, I think, everybody in this room. I don't
Everybody
think there's
in the
anybody.
Was
there's
anybody here 2 years ago?
Ethan.
Ethan.
That's it.
Ethan. Ethan.
I don't even think Bruce. You were here, right?
You were here
You're
too?
here
Yeah,
almost
okay.
3 years now, right? So Bruce was here.
So we have two people in the room, for all you watching at home, that have actually been to a festival.
The festival is nuts. Now I know it's an hour and a half from here, so I know that's a hike. But you've got to trust me on this. It is worth your day. It is fun. It is awesome.
Absolutely.
This one walked in, our first one, 4 years ago?
Because if you have ever heard Danny, it's like, we're doing this and we're doing this, and I'm like, okay, like if something works for Danny at $5, he's going to then turn it around and go, if $5 worked, I'm going to put in $500. And if $10,000 works, then I'm going to put in $100,000. Like, he is just grandiose at times when, right, accurate, when something is very fun
That's
to
my
him
dad.
or he's passionate. So he was talking about the festival, and I was like, oh, yeah, right, whatever. I pulled into that lot the very first time, and I was like, like, this is bigger than, and do not thumbnail that picture.
Ethan just screenshot
They
Sarah
really
going
get
like
some
this.
really random bad thumbnails of me and quick faces. But I walked in, and it was like, holy cow, this is bigger than most county fairs
Yep.
in towns you grow up in. So food trucks all day, beer truck, wine on a truck. I was in heaven all day long. And it only gets better year after year. So sorry, I stole your thunder.
No, you're good.
It was so crazy. So crazy.
So
Yeah.
so I wanted to give you a couple tidbits on it. One, you got to RSVP. We need to know
Yes.
who's coming, okay? And there's a couple reasons behind that. So if you go to the next slide, you can see, we got some fun pictures of what we got going on. Have you signed up yet?
RSVP required.
Now, on the Nest on the left side, there's an actual Samson Festival page now, which has all this information because you're not going to remember it. But those are some pictures from previous festivals. The dunk tank is not because we've had one before, but I'll give you some more details about that in a second. The next page got a lot of the food trucks. We've got 9 or 10 different food trucks. They're going to be serving you all day, lunch and dinner.
So when you pull in and you RSVP, they're going to ask you for your name. If your name's not on the list, we cannot get you in because you could be some random passerby off of 66, right? So when you pull in, you're going to give them their name, and they're going to hand you a bag of lunch tickets. Ask me how I know, because my daughter and I have been packing lunch tickets for 3 hours a night. Breakfast or lunch,
That was
dinner.
supposed to be a Riley job, not a Sarah
It
job.
is, but it's bonding. So
Okay.
I help her pack her tickets. It is lunch, dinner, and dessert. So no matter what time you get there, you get a lunch, dinner, and dessert ticket that you can go and use anytime. And then the beer and wine's free.
There you
on
go.
all of the, but this is a good time to also note, because it's Fairfax County and it is a regional
Yes.
park, all of the beer and wine and alcohol on site that we provide is free to you. You cannot bring your own. So you can bring coolers, but they can only have water and soda and such in them. You cannot bring alcohol into the
And
park.
this
They
is
won't allow
not
that.
our rule.
No.
We have to hire a certain amount of cops based on the amount of people that are there. And now I don't know if the cops are going to be hard on it or if they aren't going to be hard on it, but they've
I
threatened us
just have
that
to
say,
you cannot bring your own alcohol.
if we see you guys bringing in your own alcohol, we can shut down something. So this is our official say, and they will tell you when you check in if they see a cooler, if you have alcohol, please leave it in your car. Don't bring it out. It's not because we're not going to provide lots of alcohol, but they don't want you bringing in your own stuff. So that is our official warning. We just found out about this. We're going to do it today and next week as well. Make sure people are aware of that, hopefully.
Yes.
But we have tons of games and activities all day, starting with the dunk tank. So I don't know if you saw these emails come out, but
So I couldn't help it. They sent out an email yesterday, and they're like, Donnie's in the dunk tank. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he is. So we probably got a second email yesterday from me about the dunk tank. We're going to raise money for Samson Cares. So Donnie's going to be in the dunk tank. Originally, it's 1 to 1:30. And I say originally because I got a ton of emails last night from people saying, if he would extend it by 5 minutes, I'll give you $200. And hopefully that challenge would be met with then others in the company to say, well, I'll give you $200 too if he goes 5 more minutes.
I haven't responded
So he
yet.
hasn't
if I'm
responded
going
to
do
that.
this yet.
He hasn't responded. We don't really know what the schedule is. I need to check the schedule to see if he even has time to go longer because we've got him pretty packed for the day. But the contributions are open if you want to make. Otherwise, you get 3 tries to dunk Donnie for $20. So bring your dollars. I will take cash, check, or Venmo.
And so we'll
all that money will go to Samson Cares.
We're going to raise a lot of money and for those of you that don't know, Samson Cares is like our philanthropic wing of Samson
Yes.
Properties. That's my
baby.
so
Yeah.
you can talk about it.
We started Samson Cares in 2018 because we were doing a lot of great things in our communities, but we really were missing an opportunity to give back to those people. You know, we look for buyers and we look for sellers, right? But what about those people that can't buy or sell? What about the people that just need a little hand up to be able to get to the next level where they are trying to get in a position to be able to rent or trying to get in a position to be able to sell or buy a house? So we looked at what's the biggest issue in a lot of our counties, and surprisingly enough, even in Fairfax and Loudoun County, it was food insecurity in children. 1 in 7 in Loudoun County alone, the richest county in the U.S., is food insecure. So we partnered with Generosity Feeds in 2018, and we started launching our big 20,000 meal drives, where we would raise $20,000 with contributions. Agents would donate out of their commissions, their clients would pitch in, and we had these big, huge events, 400 people in there packing 20,000 meals, and then slam, bam, thank you, COVID hit, right? And so we went to smaller events in different venues that we've been rolling out, and we're still raising those money for each of people that can just donate. They can go online and give a credit card. They can give a portion of their commission. We have people that give $5. We have people that give $500 per deal. That just gives the money back into Sampson Cares, and then we have these big, huge Generosity Feeds fund drives. So we have done our last one for the smaller event. Our next one after the festival probably in the early part of Q1 when the world is continuing to stay open. We will have another probably 15,000 meal packing event that we will roll out. We also donate to Our Neighbor's Child, which is kids' Christmas presents for parents that can't afford those kids to have Christmas presents. We go through Our Neighbor's Child, and we usually give anywhere from 300 to 500 presents at the company level. The agents can jump in and send stuff to Amazon. You'll be seeing some emails out about that in the coming months, where you can go on and say, look, I don't want to give money right now, but I'll buy a gift and have it shipped to the office, and then we'll package it for you and give it to Our Neighbor's Child. We also do the local food banks in a lot of the different areas. We've done Catholic Charities in the past and other food banks to make sure that people are having turkeys and people are having, holiday meals. So Sampson Cares is our way of giving back to our communities that have given so much to us, right? Because that's our livelihood. They're helping us feed our families. So we want to help them be able to feed their families. So we invite you to participate monetarily, in person, give a gift, drop some money in the food bank, drop some food in the food bank. But this is a great way for us to be able to take advantage of how everyone loves Donnie and would love to dunk him.
Or loves to dunk me.
Or
one of
loves
the
to
two
dunk
ways.
Donnie in the dunk tank. So
anybody that's there early, wants to get there, well, I'm going to start it off because then we got lots of stuff coming. So after that, anybody that's 18 and over that wants to get in there, and it says 18 and over, but then I read it's just 4'10" and over. So we'll see what the exact rule is on that. But I think there's a size based on what's safe and when you get hit by the machine, I think is the issue. Not that when you drops, you don't want to get hit in the head by the back of it, I think is the idea. But or it might be the water depth. I'm not sure. Katie would have to tell me. But so anybody can get on the dunk tank after that.
We don't need anybody drowning in the dunk tank.
No, I don't think so. That's not good for business.
No. No.
So we have the 2 stages all day playing concerts and great bands. A Beatles band, a Beach Boys band. We've got Latin bands. We've got rock and roll and R&B bands. We've got 90s and zeros cover bands. Lots of fun stuff all day. Now, the thing I wanted to circle is this: 3:15 to 4:45. This is when we're going to rally together at the main stage. Danny and I will do some speeches, and Sarah, and we'll do a big company picture. So if any of you guys have seen, there's been one that's in a lot of the office that says we're holding 2,600 in front. That was where we claimed to be 2 years ago. It's probably more like 24, 25, but we thought we'd be at 26. But anyway, 2,500 agents is where we were 2 years ago. Well, now, I don't know if we're going to hold a number or not, but we're going to get one big picture with whoever's there wants to get in that picture from the stage out, and it's going to be super fun. Then later you can play Where's Waldo to find yourself in that crowd.
Yeah.
But so anybody that wants to be in that company picture, we're going to shoot for that around 3:45, 3:30ish. We're going to do some speeches, do a group picture, and then we're going to give out raffle prizes. We have over 40 raffle prizes.
So many prizes.
That as long as you've RSVP'd ahead of time, you have to physically be there by 3:30. We're going to call out your name. We're going to say, Barbara Pritchard, here's your new TV, but you got to be there to come get your TV.
Barbara says, I'm going to be there because I'm getting a TV.
So,
right?
Nadine Whitaker,
says,
here's your AirPods.
The wrong name already. So yeah, we have computers and TVs and like MacBook, not MacBooks.
A lot of gift cards, AirPods,
yeah,
Chromebooks, an iPad.
I said iPods.
We've got $1,000 cash as the grand prize. So TVs. So we got lots of fun stuff we're going to give out. So we want you to be there to collect those raffle prizes. Then after that kind of stage stuff in the middle of the day, we'll do 2 more great bands, a 5 and a 7 o'clock band on each stage to kind of round out the night, is kind of our goal. So it's lots of fun. Pony rides, moon bounces, zip lines, everything you can imagine. It's going to be a great day.
So much fun.
So I would encourage you. It is worth it. We do have a hotel link on their RSVP as well. If you're like, look, this sounds like a good day, but I'm not going to drive an hour home at 9 o'clock. Great. There's a hotel nearby, $100. You can stay. It's a mile or two down the road. Make a night of it. Come back Sunday. We'd love to have you out there. I mean, I live 20 minutes away. I might do the hotel for no. I'm just kidding.
It depends on how many times you visit the wine truck and the beer truck.
I'm going to try not to do that, even though I get a little nervous getting on stage in front of all those people. But she's like, no, I don't. I should have been more nervous.
He
right?
would talk to a wall. If it would even give him any kind of indication
This
it was
is
going
the
to talk
pot
back.
calling the kettle black.
I did
up
not
here.
say I was not the pot. I just said. I just said you talked to a wall if it gave you any indication of talking back.
I would.
You would.
So that'll be a lot of fun. So if you guys have more
Absolutely.
questions, certainly do that. You can go to the festival page on the Nest. We've got FAQs and all sorts of stuff.
And it's a
But
huge area. It's a huge area. But we will have golf carts running back and forth if people need some help
there's
getting
maps,
stuff.
and you can see that
Yeah.
there's 2 big main areas. That's where the 2 stages are, and each one has tons of different stuff around it. It's at Bull Run Regional Park. So the good news is, while it's far for some of the Maryland, D.C., it is about 30 minutes closer than it has been in the past. It's right off 66, so it's a pretty easy.
I've also heard a really cool thing that some people are doing, that it's right beside the Bull Run campgrounds. So
Oh, wow.
I've heard a couple people saying that they were going to actually rent a cabin
Oh, cool.
in the Bull Run campgrounds or bring in their RV and literally park it. Now, I'm not an RV fan. For me, like me being shoved in a little vehicle with my family driving across country is like the epitome of that is not ever going to happen. But people tend to love it.
It's
I think.
bonding. The RV is their family.
But anyway, there's places for RV parking, there's places for tents, and there's cabins over there that you can rent, which is super cool too, because that's a whole other weekend experience you can do. That's right attached to the festival.
With that, festival updates, I'm
Yeah.
going to bring in our friend Bruce, if that works. Then we'll jump into some market updates,
Good
some other
morning,
great
Bruce.
stuff going around in our market. Mr. Bruce Stern, who runs our managed Maryland and D.C. Cardinal Title Group.
You got one.
I got one.
He's all
Managing
wired
attorney.
up.
Yeah, they wired him up today.
There they
He's
go.
ready
Yes.
to go. You don't have to hold the mic. How you doing, Bruce?
Good, great,
Good to see
fantastic.
you.
Good to
you
see
might
you
need
too.
to step a little closer away from my man Ethan to widen this out a little bit.
Okay.
Is he on screen now? All right, you're good to go.
Okay. Good morning, Samson people. It's great to see everybody here and out there. Hello, Nadine. I'm joined today by Nadine Whitaker, our Maryland Director of Operations.
Yeah.
This is. I like that.
Okay.
Nadine goes, look, I got some love.
It's great to be here in White Marsh. This is an absolutely beautiful office. Okay, I've been to all the offices in Maryland and in DC, and this is one of the nicest. And Gaithersburg, our newest office in Gaithersburg, is just as nice as this. And it's fantastic because the great thing about these offices that Donnie has got for everybody is that your clients walk in and they are really impressed.
Yep.
Yeah, I've done closings here, and the clients walk in here and they're like, wow. And that's what you want your clients to do. I did a settlement for the first time the other day in Gaithersburg because we just opened up, and the people walked in. This was the listing agent and the seller, and the listing agent's looking around and goes, this is amazing. So fantastic job on these office
Awesome.
selections. It's great because it's just an incredible experience when your clients walk into one of our offices and say, wow, and this is amazing.
And Cardinal
So-
can close deals at all of our offices, which makes it super great
Convenient.
synergy and convenient
Yep.
for all of you.
And absolutely, in the new Frederick office, we're looking at doing closings
have
there.
you been down there yet?
have not.
That's pretty
That's
nice too. You're going to
Yep.
be another wow, and that's a good one down there. It's nice,
Exactly.
right?
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. Just want to give you some quick updates on Cardinal Title in Maryland. We are always striving to improve our operations and better serve all of you. We've added a new attorney this week, Brian Wallace, who's going to be working on the Gaithersburg office. Brian has 20 years of experience, so he's a great addition to the Cardinal staff. And over the next 3 weeks, we're adding 3 new employees.
Woohoo!
We're adding a senior post-closer and 2 more processors, including a processor who's going to be based in our DC office.
Oh, that's great news.
That's awesome.
Great
So,
news.
And
Hey,
all-
and that's exciting to me. And the reason we can do this is and continue to serve you guys better at Cardinal Title is your support at Maryland DC has been fantastic. And Bruce and I see the numbers every month, but the
continuing
support
to
you
grow.
guys have given us compared to a year and 2 years ago is we want to keep providing great staff to help service all those people. So thank you guys for your support, and Bruce for getting this great staff to be able to support you in all the different offices.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
and also the referrals from
Right.
from great staff members that are other companies that you've worked with in the past that you love. We're hiring in just about we could afford to hire in just about every single office that we're in some form or capacity. So we would absolutely love all of the referrals for anybody that you know that's a great processor or closing attorney.
Right, and the market really has changed for people because we've been seeing recently in the last couple of months, we've been seeing some very, very experienced people looking for jobs and looking to join Cardinal Title, and that's the type of person we want. For example, these 3 new people we're hiring, one of them has 30 years of experience in the industry, another one has 15, and another has 10. And that's a lot different than it was just a year ago when we were struggling to find people because the market was so tight. So this is a great opportunity for people to come join us. So if you know anyone who's experienced in the title industry, we'd be really happy to to talk to them, to have them join us. And this pays off in dividends because I was in the Waldorf office last week, and Nadine can attest to this. I was in the Waldorf office last week, and an agent came up to me, totally unsolicited. He goes, "I want to tell you, things are 1,000% better here with Cardinal and Waldorf." And that's because we've been trying to make changes. We added a settlement agent to the Waldorf office. We've made changes at the processing level, and it's really paying off dividends. And I think the agents are really realizing how much better Cardinal has become, and we continue to strive to become better. We're like Avis Rent-A-Car. And if you're my age, you probably remember the commercials. And I'm in my mid-50s. Okay, so when I was younger, Avis ran
Sarah,
a commercial.
do you know what he's talking about? I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. The
I just
joke
wanna
was just
point out-
wide open. I couldn't.
I just want to point out, everybody thinks he's older than me, and I love it.
Yeah, we did have a couple people in the office say, "Well, you're older than Sarah, right?" I was like, "Oh no." Yeah. Oh no. Go ahead. Sorry.
So
Avis
Avis used to run a commercial. They were
Avis still
number,
around?
Avis is still around.
Okay.
They were number 2 in the auto car rental industry. Okay, Hertz was number 1, Avis was number 2, and their tagline was "We try harder." And that's exactly what Cardinal Title does. We try harder. We want to become the absolute best in the business. And every day, I've got my staff working hard to become even better and to provide the most exceptional service in the settlement industry. And so that's our goal, to provide exceptional service for all your deals. We may be doing perfect deals on 98% of our deals, but that means on 2% there may be an issue or two. And we're striving to get even better every single day. And that's my promise to you. And you guys are rewarding us for that because, as Donnie mentioned, the numbers of the deals that we're getting are just phenomenal. Okay, we're getting well over 200 new deals every month from Sampson agents, which is great. We're zeroing
awesome, you guys. That's
we're
awesome.
zeroing in on 3,000 deals this year, and with your help, we can do that, and that's what we're striving to do. And because you're providing trust in us, and we're trying to deliver
That's
the
just the
absolute
Maryland,
best
D.C.
services.
side. That's not
right. That's
Virginia.
just that's Maryland and D.C., which is up about 400% in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, and not only are we getting a great number of deals, but the dollar size of the deals has become incredible. I'd say in the last month, we did over 6 $1 million deals in Maryland and D.C.
There you go.
Wow.
Look at those.
And
You rock, agents.
up here in this area, we did a $1.9 million deal for Marisol Bond.
There you go.
That's one of our
Marisol.
biggest numbers.
Nice.
Lunches on Marisol. No, just kidding.
Just an absolutely
Lunch is on me at
fantastic,
Michael's if
an
you like
absolutely
a-
fantastic deal. And then last month we also had in the largest deal came through in Maryland and D.C. history since I've been here for the last 2.5, almost 3 years now, a $2.8 million deal out of D.C.
Wow.
There you
So,
Woohoo! Who was that
again,
agent?
That
Do you
was
know?
Rob Johnston.
There you go, Rob. There you go. I remember Rob.
I wonder
Awesome.
what 2.8 million buys in D.C.
Condo?
A condo. A condo, maybe looking at a monument.
Yeah, efficiency, 1 bedroom with a full
Yeah,
bath.
you can sneeze and hit the other side.
You get your own shower
Yeah.
as well.
You get
I
your
think,
own shower.
For 2.8.
So,
Oh,
but
wow.
again, thank you for all your trust in us, and we'll continue to deliver. Again, we want to provide the best customer service to you. If you ever have any questions, we've now 7 attorneys in Maryland working on the Maryland and D.C. deals. Reach out to one of us, reach out to me. We're always here to help you. Thank you very
Awesome.
much. Look forward to seeing you all in D.C. next week. Another fantastic
There you
office.
go. There you go.
Well,
month.
and I think that's great that we've actually staffed up.
Any questions for Bruce or anything before we go? Sorry. No, good.
When I-
Always reach out to me. My contact information is on the Nest, so feel
Yes.
free to call, email me if you have any questions.
And having
Excellent.
such a great attorney depth in Maryland and DC is huge because, as most of all of you in this room know, every single jurisdiction does it differently. And it's really hard to keep a tab on this jurisdiction overriding, federal overriding state. It's like every different addendum and every different way the industry works, having attorney knowledge there to help is just huge.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So what I want to go over now is some of our market reports for September. So these are hot off the presses yesterday. Now the MAR one, hot off the presses.
The precious?
The
Hot off
precious.
the precious.
They are very precious as well. Hot off the presses. Now, the MAR one, we are starting to upload this one now, but it is not out yet. It lags in time from a couple days. Today's the 13th. We typically don't see that until the 15th or 16th. So that is not in these stats here, but the rest of them have come out by association. So for those that haven't seen this before, if you go to the Cardinal Nest, click top resources on the left side, all these market reports are uploaded right there every month in 19 different associations. So what we're going to do now is we're going to summarize kind of the top 4 or 5 Maryland associations in DC and kind of what we're seeing out there as far as September, August to September, and then September compared to last September. So this is the first one up here is GCAR. So our GCAR report, which obviously covers a huge percentage. So this number will jump off the page to you.
Wow.
The new listings from August to September went up 41% in GCAR. 41%. That's not 8. That's went from 2,500 to 3,500 listings month over month to August to September. So that is a huge, huge jump. That means people were waiting in August. They put those houses on the market in September.
Are y'all seeing more inventory hit the market for buyers? Yeah.
Okay, and I know we're a little bit north of that up here,
Yeah.
but GCAR is similar path here. So
Yeah.
hopefully the people that are watching GCAR are like, yeah, I'm seeing it. You're watching on TV. That was your fake nod. But still 12%. Sarah's like, you're fake nodding now?
Fake nodding.
So 12% up from last September, which is still a lot because really when you think about what was happening last fall, really we were really wrapped up in
coming out,
COVID.
we're not coming out, we're coming
March
out.
to June, really July, August, September, we saw huge fall numbers. So to be 12% higher than even last fall
Right.
is kind of crazy because last fall we had all sorts of records because it was all that pent up stuff from spring and summer that didn't happen. So just to even hit last fall's numbers are great, but to be higher. So the new listings are out there. New pendings.
But even the new pendings is up. So I
Yeah,
mean,
up a
that
little bit.
just shows that the inventory that's coming out is still moving. The buyer demand is still there.
Right. So we had a little bit less closed sales, but that's from July stuff that closed in August, September. So that's not really indicative of an upturn that we're seeing in August, September as far as activity. When you go to that next slide there, the median sales price, down a little bit, but I actually don't like median sales price. We'll talk about average price in a second. Average listings, we're right in the middle as far as average inventory. So this is our inventory that we've got on the market. So we've got a good place, whereas 4 months ago, we were in record lows as much inventory that was out there. You couldn't find anything out there. So there's, hot properties on the market that are able to buy. The days on market is still 22, which is super low. And, it's great and competitive. It's the lowest it's been in 5 years. It was actually 20 in August, so it's up 2 days. So it slowed down a little bit. That's probably because we pushed a lot more inventory out there. It slows down the days on market just a touch. And it was 24 last year, so pretty similar overall. Mm-hmm. And then that average sold to list price ratio, that last one is 99.7%. So that's still super high. The max it's ever been is 99.9%, which was last September coming out of COVID when it was super competitive. So that's still fantastic. Now it was 100.6 in August, so down a touch. And that's because there's a little bit more inventory, a little bit more slower market in the sense that less competition, but more options for people. So I'm going to go over some other markets right here, but then we'll kind of go to discussion. So if you're out there, get those thoughts ready. But here's where I'm going to compare the next slide as far as the 4 or 5 markets, around here. So I didn't pull. I should have had her pull Hartford County, just north of us as well. But this is GCAR, GBBR, PGCAR, SMART, and DC, so a lot of areas around us. Hartford County and Howard County are on this sheet, but they're not on this right here. So they're on the top resources chart. But you can see that, so GCAR was up 41%. The others are fairly flat, down a little bit. DC was up a bunch. So maybe that DC, Montgomery County area is up higher. Some of the others in Maryland are fairly flat, from August to September. Still up, all of them are up except for DC from last September, which is still surprising because remember, last September was super high after COVID. New pendings, fairly flat. New contracts written, except for DC, up 20%, which is a big jump. So that end of summer, into we were hoping that we'd see a bump after Labor Day, and it looks like DC hit it. The rest of them are fairly flat as far as the amount of contracts being written. Next one is closed sales. Again, they're all down from month to month because we see much more stuff that happened in June, July, that closed in August. So the September closings are always a little bit down because August is typically a really slow month for contracts. People are finishing up those vacations. They're
We're
hot.
going back to school. Kids' sports are starting. It's just crazy.
So we normally see a big push up to September. So when we look at this stuff next month, we're going to see the closings in September and October be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Is kind of my hope. Sales price is the next one there. Still super. We're still up. Across the board. G-Car is pretty flat as far as the average sales price, but year over year still up 10%, 11%, 12%. A little bit less in DC, but up year over year in average sales price, which is always good news. And then the days on market is that last slide.
Still incredibly quick.
Still incredibly slow, but all of them are up a little bit. 20 to 22, 18 to 23, 14, 15, 14, 16, 26, 28. So all a little bit slower in September than they were in August. But that's not surprising based on that new inventory going out there. So what my message would be there is you've got those buyers that really struggle, and this has been a lot of your guys' message probably, but those buyers that were out there in March, April, May, June, July, and they just got frustrated because it was too competitive. You couldn't get anything, no money down. I was tired of it. No home inspections, no appraisal,
I got to bring 100
no
grand.
nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now you've seen a little bit a ton more inventory out in the market, a little bit slower days on market. It's still a great time to list. These are still amazingly great numbers, but as a buyer, you can come in and make realistic offers. I can make list price and get my closing costs, or have a home inspection, or have an appraisal. A much more balanced market, which I think is more healthy than where we were 3 or 4 months ago, which was
Well, it's also
not so
important
fun.
that you also set proper expectations. Like 3 years ago, 90 days on market was very normal, right? And then we went into this world turn upside down, and we're at an incredibly great market, but it still is slowing a little bit. It's incumbent upon every agent to realize what's happening in your market, what's happening in the neighborhoods, and be able to set those expectations with your clients to say an average market. Somebody came in with a phone ringing, so he's dancing. That's hilarious. But it's incumbent to say, look, 90 days on market is a normal market. It's a more balanced market. The fact that it's still happening in 30 days is great, but it is going to take 30 days or 25 days or whatever your neighborhood is. It's no longer going to happen in 3 days. So making sure you set those seller expectations, because if not, the sellers are going to be calling you every 13 minutes saying, why hasn't my house sold? When this entire market has set unrealistic expectations for consumers, but also for agents. I can't tell you how many agents have come in my office and said, I need help with my listing. It hasn't sold. How long has it been on the market? 2 weeks. Well, what's your average days on market? Well, everything's selling right away. What's the average days on market? You need to educate yourself, not just from what happened 3 months ago,
Right.
but run average days on market for the year and for last year and see what's happening, because we're going into a more normalized, now look, we're not jumping from 30 days to 90 days. That's not what I'm saying. But know what happens in regular cycles and know to set the right expectations with your clients.
And realize if you're in a neighborhood and there's 6 things in the market and there's 2 contracts getting every month, well, now all of a sudden we're in a different world where before we'd have 1 active property and 10 contracts were written last month. Well, of course, the average is that these people are going to be like piranhas on this new food that comes on the market. But if we have a more balanced atmosphere, set those expectations like Sarah said. What are the most recent sales? How long did they take? What prices did they get?
And don't price right.
Don't price based on the highest one that happened in June or July. Price what's happened in September, or October, and that's where you have to really educate. Like, no, but the neighbor down the street got $550 in April, May. Well, that's great.
That was
Somebody
a different
overpaid
market.
in April or May. That's
Right.
not today's
That's not
market.
today's market.
Today they're $495 in this neighborhood or $505 in this market. So you need to adjust that when you talk to your sellers, or else you are going to be on for $550 for a month and then drop down and then be
now you're chasing the
unhappy
market.
with what it is.
Yeah.
What are you guys seeing in the market today? And actually, if we can grab a mic if you want to speak, not because I can't hear you, but the TV can't hear you if you want to speak. But anybody want to volunteer and give me what they're seeing in the market today, or else I'm going to call on some of you top agents out there.
Oh, yeah, you get voluntold.
I'm looking
might
at
as
you in
well
the back,
volunteer.
Bob. Bob's going to have to get a
Bob,
mic because
you're
he's
gonna
going to
talk?
have to speak and open it up here. Bob ain't shy, I know it.
Here you go.
What are you seeing, Bob?
Well, what we are looking forward to after the first of the year is potential short sales and foreclosures.
So you think you're going to see some of that?
I think we're going to start seeing that come back.
Okay.
I got into the business right as that was all happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you haven't been through short sales, find an
Oh.
attorney.
Oh, I didn't turn it on.
Oh,
Sorry.
Sarah.
I'm
You're not new to
sorry.
this, Sarah.
See the green? I should have looked for the green, sorry.
Sarah's
Anyway,
fault.
okay, now we're good. So, short sales, foreclosures, look for banks to come back with short sales. If you haven't aligned yourself with a company that can do your short sales, it has to be an attorney. We cannot negotiate short sales. We know that, right, everybody?
Yes.
Not in Maryland, anyway.
Well,
Okay.
your E&O insurance doesn't cover you, period. if you negotiate your own short
Yeah,
sale.
you can't. We're not supposed to be negotiating short sales. So find an attorney that can negotiate your short sales. Find somebody that's experienced with it, that's been doing it since the last time.
So it's going to be interesting to see if that's area specific, right? If we're going to be in certain price points or we're going to be in certain zip codes or demographics. You know, from the Northern Virginia perspective, everybody's above water right now. For the first time, they're making bank and cashing out. So it's going to be interesting to see if that is a trickle-down effect for like 3 or 5 years from now, we're going to have all of that, or
Right.
if that's going to be in certain neighborhoods in the next year or two. So
Yep.
it's going to be interesting to see that.
The fear is that the people who did the forbearance,
Yes,
That they can't
correct.
afford
they're
it.
so now that all that load is back
And
on
whether
their
or
all of a
not
sudden,
they've gone
all
back
of a
to
sudden, you got to
work
start making
or-
your payments.
Right.
Right. Well, the only issue that I think, and you could be absolutely right, is that to Sarah's point. Well, yes, now they can't make their mortgage payment, but their house worth $400,000 back when they bought it, and yes, they're way behind on the mortgage payment, but it's worth $475. You know, because that we did get all that inflation. Now, if we still see it settle down, but you know, I do think there'll be some of these interesting things back in the market, which is a great point. You know, so
Short sales are
being
riveting.
aware of it.
Riveting.
Those are not fun.
No.
So I hope. I think
I hope you're
I
not going
respect
back
Bob's
there.
opinion, and I hope he's wrong.
I hope you're wrong, friend.
Because that
Yeah.
was no fun. I remember a few windows in my office that caught it from phones when I was fired up. You know, I'm just kidding. I've never had that kind of anger, Barbara. I'm a nice man. She was looking at me like, he has that kind of anger? I'm just kidding. But you know, he mentioned negotiating themselves. I would get somebody else even if it was allowed, because you will. I tried that a couple times and I was like, no. I do not have the patience for that. You like to negotiate them? You like? Well, Barbara, I'm going to give all my
You
short
might
sales
be-
to
well, that's
Barbara.
because she's short and spicy.
She is short and spicy. That helps her.
I was a paralegal for 20 years. It's paper shuffling. It's all it is.
Yeah, nobody can hear her. She's not on the mic.
Just
No,
tell.
no.
So she said it's paper shuffling.
Paper
She was a
shuffling.
paralegal for 20 years.
It's paper shuffling, and you argue with the bank. I don't feel bad for a bank. I had a poor guy.
Barbara.
I'm sorry.
He
thought
won't
she
put
was
the
done
camera.
talking, so I
Anthony,
was like-
Anthony, don't put the
Never
camera on her. She won't like that. Just put her sound on.
I'm just fine. My son bought a short sale.
To the mic.
Sorry.
There you go. It's on. I turned
You're
it on.
good. You're good.
Anyway,
Into the mic, Barbara.
this poor gentleman was put into a 9.625 adjustable
Oh,
loan. If he had bad credit, don't lend him the money.
right.
He lost his house, he lost his car, he lost his job, and I said, I don't care who buys this house, you're done. And we got it done in 12 weeks.
There you go.
Chase Bank, 12
Well,
weeks.
I think that is one difference, hopefully, that will not be quite as bad as this, is that in the mid-2000s, they gave some really ridiculous loans out.
Yeah, and I
mean,
don't think we still have
you
that.
know, and I don't think we had a bunch of those written in the 2010s. So
Right,
I don't
because
think
you
we're
would
going
have
to
had
see
to
stuff that
give your
extreme.
DNA string for your ninth-born child to get a loan in the
Yeah, I
last
mean,
few
they
years.
didn't
I mean, it
have
was
some of
very-
the crazy loans in the 2010s that we had
Right.
in 03, 04, 05. They gave out some loans to
I mean, we were doing.
whoever. You
and-
just
and
take, you
weren't-
rose your hand and said, I want $1 million. They just give
You
it to
walk
you.
in and say, I am a trash collector and I make $19 million a month. And they'd say, okay. You didn't have to verify anything. You didn't have to give documents.
You have to verify income. You have to verify employment.
And you might buy 3 or 4 houses and then not ever make a first payment before they were kicking over into into
Yeah,
foreclosure.
there were lots of horror stories from back
Horror
then.
stories.
So hopefully it won't be quite that bad to the extreme.
Yeah, and I don't
examples.
think so. I think it's going to be more like you said about the forbearance and just people realizing that, oh crap, I don't have the money and I didn't realize what that was going to look like. And, you know, not that we're ever going to give people advice on what to do in those situations, because that's not our purview and that's not what we're E&O covered to do and or our expertise. But some of those people probably will need to go ahead and to his point, have the equity in the house, go ahead and get out from under the equity, you know, get out from under that debt, sell it, pay it off, and then restart themselves. So there
Right.
also can be the opportunity for
Some
you know,
sales.
some more sales in that environment as
Right.
well.
That once they start paying, that
Right.
they can sell instead of short selling. They can sell and actually get some money
Clear
out
out
of it
and
move on.
then move on and reset themselves.
What
yeah.
are you guys seeing as far as, you know, action at your, anybody open houses with action recently, or action on list? Oh, Celine, you got you no.
Yeah.
Oh, we won't
She
put
looked,
a ca-
we both went, whoop!
we
she
won't
said
put a camera on you, but can you hold a microphone so they can hear you? There you go.
There we go.
Go on down. There you go. Celine's got to share. When you smack your lips and I see it, then you're in.
There was movement.
I mean,
What do
I
you see,
use-
Celine? You're out there crushing it.
I'm noticing them slowing down a bit. Less
Okay.
people coming through. It felt like I host an open house the first weekend of every listing going active, and I am noticing less people roll through. While before it was, you
couldn't even keep your eyes on everybody at the
So
same time.
what is less people
Yeah, so
for
what's
you?
less people? Is it going from 20 parties to 3 parties, or is it
I'm seeing it, yeah, down to 5 or less. I mean, when COVID
for like a
first-
2 or 3 hour period?
Yeah, for those 2-hour periods, it's
Okay.
literally 5
So
or
you're
less.
seeing less of that open house traffic than
Yeah.
maybe what you were seeing a month or two ago.
Much less
Okay.
than what I was seeing a month or 2 ago.
You know, it'll be interesting because a lot of the fall sports are also starting to wrap up now. Football, lacrosse, they're all going into, in the next week or so, they're going into their playoff season. So it'll be interesting to see after a week or so if that open house traffic will pop back up again, because a lot of the youth sports are playing right now.
That's true.
Right.
So that'll finish up.
So we're hopeful that, but thank you for the feedback on
Yeah.
open house traffic. And I still think that it's worth doing them, not only because it helps get that listing exposed, but you only need to meet that one person, In some ways, it's better to have 5 or 6 people through than 25, because
A good
you
substantive
can't talk to
conversation.
25 people. The 5 or 6 people, you can show them the house, you can integrate with, you can talk to them, and yes, we're trying to sell that house, of course, but what are we also trying to do? Make a connection so they can be our next buyer or seller. Well, if I only get 5 people through 2 hours, I can actually have conversations with people as opposed to, herding the cats and making sure that, that.
Well, in worst case scenario is all 5 of them come with, when they have agents, right? But the best case scenario is you get some nosy neighbors. People are like, I hate nosy neighbors. I love nosy neighbors, right? That is your, well, yeah, you find out everything, but that's your listing that's coming up down the street, because now they're starting to think about it. And if you, and by the way, Ninja's coming back on the books, but if you start taking Ninja and you learn about the seller aspect and the seller psychology of people selling houses, they start looking 9 to 24 months before they ever do anything, right? So they're looking, and they just did an interview with you. Now you have to stay in touch and continue to contact them. We'll teach you how to do all of that. But it's the listing presentation that you're doing on site before they're even thinking about having another agent in their house to look at it. And it's the buyers that are coming in that have no idea, because we don't have an agent, we can do this ourselves, right? Where you can build that connection and grow that relationship.
She went to the deep voice for why I'm an agent. She
Yes.
dropped
Did I
down
drop?
for the
Did I
new
drop?
voice, Any other thoughts on the market and what you're seeing out there? Open houses, listing activity, pretty much everybody consistent with that kind of stuff. Marisol and her $2 million listings, nothing to add on there.
Nice.
So a couple other great things we have going on. We've got the World Series of Prospecting, which, they're all virtual and you can watch from wherever you're at and be included in that class in Zoom. But Tammy's doing a lot of it. It's funny, I didn't even see what some of her classes were until we got to it. We've hit some of it in this conversation. Creating a market plan for your database. We're
No,
in mid-October.
why isn't my listing selling?
That
Yeah.
was what I was going to get to, yes.
I blew
Sarah
his
likes
thunder.
to jump in there. But we've got creating a market plan for your database, holiday marketing, which is coming up. Why isn't my listing selling? These are super valuable classes coming up, and Tammy teaches great classes Tuesdays and Thursday mornings that you can hop into. We also record a bunch of these and put them on the Nest if you're able to, on Samson
Yep,
University
Samson
if you
University.
miss them. But we always say, look, October, you might start to see some of the slowdown in November, December, but this is when you've got to step on that marketing. You've got to get to the sphere of influence. You've got to figure out where your areas are that you want to be farming for next year and start to set. This is the time of year, not quite yet, but there's where you're starting to get that planning purposes. But I would write down all the things during the year that I wanted to do better in my business. And I could never implement those things in April to August because you're crazy, right? You're trying to, all the clients are here and there, and then you've got vacation, you got all these things going on. But when you get to that end of October, November, December, this is your implementation time. Keep doing your things, but get that marketing in place, figuring out what you're going to do for next year, reaching out to your sphere of influence when you have a little bit more downtime than you're used to in the summer. Because the listings that come out on the market, January 1, that phone starts ringing for listings for next year. Well, they're deciding who they're going to reach out to November and December. They want to see your face, whether it's in print materials or email marketing. You need to get in their mindset and have that plan. If you start trying to market for listings in February, March, you've kind of missed the boat a little bit. They've already decided who they're calling or who they've met with or who they're going to list with next spring. So get out there now and start thinking about these ideas. Get in these classes, figuring out your best path for the end of the year.
Well, and I'll even take it back even more fundamental with real estate markets changing and cycles changing and everything changing. The one thing that doesn't change is prospecting cycles. It's never changed in the 20 years that I've been in it.
20 years, huh?
I was 9. The prospecting you do October, November, December is your settlements January, February, March. Your 90-day prospecting cycle pays you the following 90 days, right? So if you prospect now, you start business planning, you start touching your clients, hey, look, we've got major holidays coming, right? You're still going to see people. If not, you're going to talk to them over Zoom whatever. Stay in touch as best you can, as safe you can. But the prospecting that you're doing October, November, December is going to be your income stream on January, February, March.
Absolutely, absolutely. So start to make those plans, get in those classes. And to that breath, we have,
So
before
many
I jump into
classes.
the other classes, we've got something exciting you just mentioned is coming back.
Ninja's coming back.
What's coming back, Miss Mormon?
So Ninja's coming back. I
We finally
probably
got Sarah off her Tookus. No,
Y'all
I'm
did get me off my Tookus. I
I'm
appreciate
kidding.
that. I probably get 6 to 10 emails a week from people saying, when are you doing Ninja again? Hint, hint. When
So
are you
what
doing
is Ninja?
Ninja is a holistic selling system. Mindset, skill set, action. You have to work with the brain to figure out how the brain works to retrain your brain, right? For all the things that have happened in your life, you're retraining your brain. 80% of your thought synapses from a scientific standpoint are negative based on the world around you. And so we have to constantly work at turning those thought synapses around to being positive and actionable items. So we work the first couple of weeks on brain synaptics, which is a riveting class of scientific knowledge. But what we do is we train you with exercises to be more positive.
I'm
We
just
help
impressed you
understand-
keep saying synaptics
Synaptic?
correctly, as I
Synaptics.
can't say it.
That's
correctly.
hilarious. But we're working on those things. We're getting your mindset. We're giving you exercises. We're giving you thought processes to do to retrain your brain, right? That has to happen every day. That's the mindset piece, skill set piece. We're talking about actionable items for prospecting, actionable items with your buyers, actionable items with your sellers. Again, building your business plan, all of those things. So it's mindset, skill set, and then it's action. It's actually homework after each class where you will build you'll build a business surrounding the mindset of energy flow and good, positive prospecting. I will tell you that you don't have to do it all. You don't have to do it all to be successful in Ninja. Ninja originally was designed by Larry Kendall back in the 70s. It was Zig Ziglar and Carnegie and all the sales pontificators of the time, right? He packaged all their doing the bests and the best pieces of each one of those packages and put it together and rolled it out to his company and then documented best practices for the people that took off and did well, what they were doing and how it worked, and the numbers and the psychology behind why things were working. And while he taught this, he would go around and he would do the teaching circuit. This has been repackaged. Keller Williams took it, smacked a new title on it, bold, changes a few words, and charges people $1,000 for it. There was a trainer, a lead trainer that was out in the audience for another company. He went up to Larry and said, I want to make this my own. I want to partner with you. And he said, I don't partner, I just teach. You take what you want and make it your own. Well, that was Brian Buffini, who created Buffini Systems. And then another individual came up and said, I want to partner with you. And Brian said, go take it and take what I did, take it and make it your own. Well, that was also Joe Stump by referral only. So all of those different programs that are steeped in heavy prospecting all are pieces of the philosophy of Ninja. So I would encourage you, if you've never taken it before, we will be running it live starting on October 29th. It's going to be every Friday from 10 to noon. I'm going to have a sign-up sheet come out if you want to come to Chantilly. That's going to be a little far for you guys, but we're going to be running it on the Nest, and I will get all the materials printed and sent out ahead of time so that if you want to, you can print and be ready to take Ninja and stream it live. Maybe you guys can run different classroom activities. 8 weeks. There's only one deviation from Friday, 8 to 10. The week of Thanksgiving, I'm moving it to Wednesday because people are going to be traveling and doing holiday festivities. I want everybody to be able to attend. So I'm going to move it to Wednesday of that week. Otherwise, it's 8 to 10 every Friday. And with
10
this,
to 12.
what did I say?
8 to 10.
Oh, I'm not doing 8 to 10.
We
I'm
know
doing
you're
10
not
to
going to get
12.
there at 8, that's
No,
for sure.
10 to 12. Thank you for that correction. 10 to 12.
You barely
12.
made 10 here.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't do mornings. I do mornings on the back end.
So you can make 10 at Chantilly. It's closer to our house.
And if it's, I can make 8 as long as I'm still up from the night before. I'm a laid out. I will also say this to you. If you are not happy where your business is, Ninja is a way for you to take several pieces of it, do something, and pop your business. When I left, I managed for Long & Foster for 10 years. I left Long & Foster. I was not allowed to sell there. I gave my $30 million business away year after year after year so that when I left, I had no referrals left. 10 years and you're not prospecting, you got Zippo, right? You got to keep it and you got to infuse energy into it. When I went to work in Remax, I said, I want to sell again as part of this. And so I said, what's going to help me sell? And I said, I'm going to launch a Ninja. So the first thing I did when I was at Remax was I launched a Ninja and I did it with them, right? So when I did that, Within the first 3 weeks of following the same stuff, I did exactly what I told you guys to do, right? I wasn't going to do anything I didn't tell them to do. I had 7 listings, 9 buyers, 3 referrals out of the area. And I went, holy crap, I don't have time to do this. I got to sell, right? I got to sell these houses. I got to work with these clients. I did the one thing that I tell you guys to not do over and over and over again, which is never stop your prospecting. You've got to put your prospecting on autopilot. So it taught me a really good lesson. We finished out the class. I stopped prospecting. And then I got to the end and I was like, now what? I got nothing. I closed everything. So I'm like, let's do another ninja. So we did another ninja. This time, I put my systems in place so that prospect would go on autopilot. First 4 weeks, I had 9 listings, 7 buyers. Literally, it was a flip. Referrals out of the area. And every time I need a pop-up business, I will run a ninja myself and do ninja. Because it is you contacting people, building relationship, getting in a good, positive energy flow, being a valued resource to them. You're not selling them. You're helping them. You're adding value to their life. You're going to get that good pop-up business. I would challenge you, if your business is not where you want it, it is not the market. It is not your clients. It is you.
Yeah.
That is a very unpopular opinion. Everybody likes to, well, my broker doesn't do anything for me and I don't have any business. It's not your broker. It's not your office manager. It's not your mama. It's not your spouse. It is you. It is you and your bad habits and the mindset and ruts that you get yourself in. So I invite you all to come to Ninja. You may
Amen,
not like
sister.
what you learn, but you will get it exposed. Yes.
No, and it's 100% true. And you know, and I'll joke and I'll say it here later at Lunch and Learn is, you know, the great part about real estate is you don't have a boss. The really terrible part about
You
it
got
is
no boss.
you also have no boss. You know,
Right.
so you don't have anybody to hold you accountable and make you do the things that help you to succeed. The great part of real estate is you're in charge of your own destiny in this world. Now,
Good, bad,
as
or
a
ugly.
brokerage, we try to provide you great tools and education and offices and resources to help you fly, but nobody's going to do it for you. You know,
Yes.
but you cannot. If you jump in this class in 8 weeks, I promise you, you will come out of it better with good habits. And even if you're not going to do every single thing Sarah says, you're going to pick up great things that help launch your business for 2022.
So it is an intense class. It is 2 hours packed. There is not a lot of
You got to really focus because she
You gotta
talks
focus.
fast.
I got a lot of information to get in a short period of time. So I do talk fast. I try not to. But you do need to come prepared to work.
Do you try?
Sometimes I try better than others. But you are going to need to come ready to work because it is a class that you have to engage in. You will only get in what you get out. It is a class that builds on itself. So every week builds on to the next of the things that you've learned. And if you don't come for half and come for half, I'll tell you, you're not going to get much out of it. I'll also tell you that when I came to Samson, one of the first things I did was benchmark our agents and where we were as a company. And then I tracked year over year the agents that went to Ninja in the first round and tracked their volume increase year over year. Now, granted, this was from 2017 to 2018-19. That group as a whole, not individually, but as a whole, had an average of 60% more volume in their pipeline. Because, look, and that's taking the average. Some people took it and ran with it. Some people said, this is a great nugget, I'm going to try this. And some people said, yeah, I'm going to try all that. And didn't do anything, right? That's the human nature. But as a whole, that group carried their business and had a pop of 60% volume year over year. So it works if you execute.
If you're a little slower or you want to get to that next level in business, you can sacrifice 2 hours a week to hop into a class that's going to help you get into that.
Yeah,
So
you can turn off Facebook and your political news anger for like 2 hours and start getting some learning done.
way to be controversial there, Miss Mormon.
I didn't say what side I was on. I just said there's a lot of anger. Is that fact?
That
That's
is
fact.
that is
Thank
a
you.
fact on both sides
Yes, yes.
everywhere. Yes, ma'am. So that Ninja's coming up again, which is exciting. If you're in that Northern Virginia area or DC area, we'd love
Come
to see you in
visit,
person
yeah.
in Chantilly. It's going to be a little far for all the Maryland people. But
Yeah.
look, we had a lot of people come down from people an hour away and
We
come
do.
down
Some
together
people
and
just
have
learn
fun.
better, but I would say, we'll
But
get with the
watch
office
online.
managers. We'll get up streaming in the offices if you guys want to come in to the conference rooms, and we'll try to get some of the conference room areas or something booked so we can run right out of their offices.
So that's coming up, as well as we've got a lot more classes coming up that are exciting for you all. Today, if you are newer to us and you want to get all things Samson, I believe it's Thomas and Iso, right?
It is actually Bethany and Melissa.
Bethany and Melissa are coming up here. Huh?
Bethany and Melissa are Bethany and Melissa.
Say that 5 times
Bethany
fast.
and Melissa are schlepping.
So they will do a
White
new
Marsh.
agent orientation for Samson agents 12 to 1 here.
Yes.
It's going to be live streamed on the Nest. So for those of you that aren't in the area, you can still watch. We've had to skip it the last couple of months. We haven't had a live one here in a couple of months, so we're excited for Bethany and Melissa to hop in and do that.
Yeah, and I would encourage you, if you join the company, I mean, even if you've been here for 2 years and you think I know everything, you don't know everything. We change stuff all the time. We're constantly adding new tools and resources to you to be able to help you grow your business. I would encourage you at least once a year, every random once in a while, just pop into an orientation to see what's changed, just so that you can stay abreast of everything.
Absolutely. We've got great masterminds coming up. The Mark Cabrera classes we don't talk a lot about, but he does a lot of great classes. He's a motivational guy. He's very inspirational. He gets fired up and can get you going. But he teaches some great classes that are different from the norm of what we do.
Right.
This one is how to be a multi-million-dollar producer. I think there's another one about building a business next week. I think I talked, it might be in the week after these slides here.
Yeah.
But these are great classes that are off the norm of just contracts or KV Core or SkySlope or prospecting, but how to build your business. Look, you guys may say I'm a realtor. No, we have 4,700 business owners. You have your own business, and that's when you want to truly be successful selling real estate. It's when you look at it like, look, I'm running my own business here. What do I have to do to build my business? Whether it's, am I building the right systems? Do I have the right support? Am I doing the right marketing? Am I budgeting properly? You've got to set yourself up to run a business, not just, oh, I'm going to sell a house here or there. You can do that, but to really get to that next level, set yourself up and have that right mindset that this is a business, a career I want to do. So Mark can really help you focus on a lot of those things as well.
Absolutely. And one of the other things that we've got coming up right after that is the CMA class, because notoriously people do not price properties well. It's not an art form. It truly is science, right? So Bright's coming out to do a CMA class to help agents learn how to use their tools and resources to get better data.
That one's all just virtual.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's virtual. But they're going to teach you how to get better data to do your CMAs, which is a great class.
There's so much stuff in Bright that we don't know how to use. So many of you guys know. There's a lot of really great features in Bright. So I'd encourage you to go in there to unpack some of the stuff in there, some of these classes that we offer.
And I laugh because I have buyer agents sitting in Bright, right? So I get this email from a listing agent. She's reverse prospecting, right? One of your clients.
So some of you guys just stop and go, what's reverse prospecting?
Right.
And how are we doing
so
that?
Reverse prospecting, right, is when you're calling the buyer's agent and you're saying, hey, I have a listing and I would like you to write an offer on that listing or whatever, comma.
Did you guys even know that in Bright you could tell what agents
what
have been
yes.
viewing or what agents have searches set up that have sent that site? And most of you are shaking your head yes, which is great. But I'll bet you there's a lot of people that don't know that.
But there's a lot of people that don't.
If I've got a listing on the internet, I can go in there and look, and I can see that you 30 agents have sent that to your buyers, or it's matched
or that your
searches.
clients have looked and it's matched up
Right.
in the auto populate.
Because if Sarah's my client and she favorites a listing or likes a listing, I don't know who Sarah is, but I know who the buyer's agent is that has that client, so you can reach out to that buyer's agent.
So what the funniest part is, and I'm about ready to tell you how much I don't know about Bright, right? I knew that happened. So I get this listing.
Did you know that before that?
I did. I
Okay.
did. I really did know that before that. But I got this email, and she said, one of your clients liked one of my listings. And I said, well, that's great. What listing and what client? And I'm sure there's a report that I can run or
You could definitely look.
I don't have time to look. If they like it, we'll
Or
go.
if they
Yeah.
said what listing, you could find probably what.
Yes, but I laughed. I was like, it's great that you're trying to use reverse prospecting, but you got to give a little bit more information.
Well, and Casey uses this on another level, and
The
he
whole
does a whole
predictive analytics.
thing. Yeah, he does a whole thing on. So Casey, my uncle, whose team just passed 100 million for the year, he does his masterclass series on the university is great. He does Coffee with Casey's, which are really a deep dive into. I mean, there aren't a lot of companies where the guy doing over 100 million is going to pull back the curtain and tell you everything he does with his business. But he does a ton on predictive analytics and how are the listings going to do. He'll put every listing on the market as a coming soon a week or 2 weeks ahead of time. And why does he do that? Because he wants to see how it's going to react to him Bright. If he's got no favorites, no likes, no action, we're priced wrong. And now he doesn't waste that first 2 weeks figuring that out. He can tell by the feedback he's getting coming soon already. In the same breath, if he sees he's got 18 likes and 19 favorites and it's getting all these people's searches and there's all this activity, we know, okay, look, we're going to get some great action when we launch. We're not going to take the first offer we see on Friday.
Probably going to get more.
We're priced appropriately. So there's so much you can do, and that's a 20-second overview of deeper how he looks into it.
I would say build on that, because if you don't know how to do the predictive analytics, absolutely watch that class or figure out, watch Bright tutorials. Because I just recently used that about 6 months ago where my client wanted to price $50,000 too high. And the way I got the price down was I said, I'm going to put it on for 2 weeks. and we're going to watch. And I showed him what a dashboard of predictive analytics looked like. I'm like, if we're here on the likes and we're here on the favorites, then we can go to market with this. But if we're not, and we have 700 views because it's gone out on all these searches and it's been going out on all these ads, and we don't have any likes or favorites, then you have to drop the price down here because you are way too high and we're going to be chasing the market, and here's what happens when we chase the market. But I gave him data to be able to substantiate that. Sure enough, we had 669 views, but we had 0 likes and 0 favorites. I went back to him and I said, do you see what my other listing's doing? He goes, yes. I said, I got 3 contracts on that. Do you see what your listing's doing? He goes, yes. I said, we need to lower the price. He goes, do it. So it's good data. It's a good way to be able to have those pricing conversations where it's not you going in and saying, I'm so sorry, I can't get you out of your house what you want. It's not about you. It's what the market will generate. The market's not generating a buyer at this price.
And you can be coming soon and bright for 3 weeks before you have to go
No showing
out.
during that period of time.
And
But
no
you-
showing.
yeah.
Mr. Bob.
When a house is listed in Bright as coming soon, it does not go out to Zillow and all those
Nope.
other sites.
No,
Okay.
but it's all the buyer's agents that
Right.
have people set up.
And
all
they're
those
set through the
searches.
auto portals. They're just shooting out through the portals.
And,
Right.
and I know there's some controversy whether that's good or bad. Personally, I'm of the opinion I like that.
Yes.
But I don't. It gives us as agents something that these portals don't have. Now all of a
Right.
sudden, if I'm a buyer's agent and I'm sending Marisol these great properties
I
that
can
she
show you what's
can't
coming
see
up.
on
You
Zillow
can't
and
see them on your own.
Realtor.com.
Right.
Well, now she's like, well, Donnie has value as a buyer's agent. All these other websites are trying to minimize us having a, why do I need a buyer's agent? I can see everything on Redfin. Well, no, you can't. I've got this stuff because I'm a buyer's agent MLS that I can actually send out as the coming soon properties.
And you, as a coming soon, can still place your advertisements as coming soon. You can still run the ads on Facebook and Instagram. You can still do your own advertising for the property itself to get more likes and views and put paid advertising behind it as well. But you just can't show it yet. So you can still get all those views out there.
Yeah.
You just can't show it until
Casey
it goes
actually, in
active.
conjunction with that, would run Facebook ads as an FYI. He would run coming soon Facebook ads because it's in Bright, he's allowed to, and he would track how many people were the activity on that Facebook ad, and so that was another piece of it. It wasn't just the Bright, but the Facebook ads and the single property websites he would set up for it, which we give you through KV Core, and he could track how many people are hitting that website
Or
as
went
well.
to 103 Main
So
Street
we
and
actually
looked.
would have 3 data points, not to dive too much into it, but the website, the Facebook ad, and the Bright likes and favorites. Now you can paint a big picture and tell the seller, look, I've been out there for a week or 2. We've had all these people view it. I don't have anybody talking to me. I don't have any likes. I don't have any favorites. So this started as a conversation about there's a lot more power in Bright
Clearly we get
than
off
you
track.
guys know. But it's
Yeah,
good
but
stuff
it's
that a
good-
lot of
it's
people
good
don't know
data.
about,
Yeah.
I think. So that is super valuable. So jump in, take whatever Bright classes you can. And I guess I just gave an indirect plug to go watch some of Casey's masterclass
Right.
series. And he's got them labeled predictive analytics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
if you
especially
want
the
to know how he
pricing
uses
of
that.
properties and predictive analytics. There's lots of different methods, and you shouldn't rely on just one method.
Right.
I've heard people say, "Oh, well, I do it in Bright," or "Oh, I do it in RPR," or "Oh, I do." You should. First of all, don't price based on Zillow. I heard that the other day. But it's not just well, this is what this piece of data told me. You need to compare that data to, you could be missing a ton of stuff that's not being pulled out of however you configured the search pattern. Look at a lot of different ways. I look at RPR, I look at Bright CMAs, I drop entire sets of data down in spreadsheets and manipulate the data and run configurations on Excel to give me
You're
the
just
numbers I
saying
want.
big words right now.
But what part of that was a big word?
Configurations.
RPR, yes.
RPR.
RPR. But there's lots of different ways. Don't just rely on one data set. Make sure that you're looking at multiple sources so that you're nailing in that price better.
And you brought up Zillow because, and we're on a little bit of a tangent, but it's good, is these automated value assessors, whether it's Zillow or RPR or Realtor.com, there's so many websites now that will guess your price. And so many of the sellers, they're going to do what? They're going to grab onto whatever value they can find on the internet that's the highest one. And they're like, well, this website said my house is worth this. Well, be prepared for that ahead of time. Pull all 3 or 4 major valuation models out there so you know what they are. But pull the most recent 3 or 4 in the neighborhood. See what they said they were worth and what they actually sold for. Because people will grab onto that highest one, but show them, look, the data is all over the place. They're not in your house. They're not the realtor professionals. But if you show them, well, look, the other 5 estimates in your area were this is what they sold for. Like, so his estimate doesn't mean anything.
Well, I
because I
laugh.
promise they'll be all over the map.
I go in and I'm like, let me show you how I can manipulate your data. And I log in to my Zillow account and I claim their house and I go in and take everything out of their house and show that the property value can drop 50,000, and then I go in and add stuff into the house that's not there and resave, and it shows that the property value just went up 100 grand. I'm like, and that's how we manipulate data. And they're like, oh, I get it.
Right.
So you can do some of that stuff to show them that might
sometimes
not necessarily be
that's
the
definitely
end all.
not the answer, but
Yeah.
but knowing how to use those things
And as agents, that is never the answer.
no, and
Please don't ever do
but
that.
be ready to combat
Yeah.
those thoughts when they come in, because some sellers are going to grab a hold of that, and that's
run.
their only data point out there is the estimate said it's worth this, and Zillow's a big deal. It's not. Be prepared to combat that. There's one other class I wanted to highlight here. Next, no, that's not next Friday. It's this Friday. Friday the 15th already. Man, October's already halfway
I wanted
over.
to do one real quick before you do.
No, fine.
Oh, you go ahead, because it's
No,
Friday
go
the
ahead.
15th too. So Maryland contracts just changed. Most of you
Yes.
guys all know that. So Kara has run contract classes going over all those changes.
Now
and
we
going
picked two
over.
classes at the exact same time. Go ahead.
Oh, did we? Okay, so she has done that the past 2 weeks. She's going to do it again this week. It is filmed. If you miss it and you want to hit the next class he's going to talk about, it is filmed, so you can watch it on Sampson University. But please, please, please make sure you are aware of all of your contract changes in Maryland.
No, and that's even more important, because you can come back and watch Wendy's class if you want. But
That will also be
the one
staged.
out there. We're going to tape them both. But Friday at 10 o'clock, National Code of Ethics with Wendy Dean. So Wendy's a great broker manager. She's at our Arlington office, but she's licensed in Virginia, Maryland, and D.C.
Yes.
Has all three jurisdictions. Wendy came to us with great credentials. She was one of the top brokers at KW Metro Center in the Northern Virginia, D.C. area.
She's also an attorney.
And an attorney before that, and also, I guess, still an attorney. She didn't lose that distinction. I guess you can lose it, right, if you don't keep up?
I think you have to keep up,
Yeah.
right?
But she's an attorney as well. But Wendy's super smart on this stuff, and she's passionate about it. So you can get into that class, ask good questions, but learn about some of the things that are lesser known about this code of ethics. And you want to make sure that you're always doing things the right way and not getting yourself in a heap of trouble
And it's
somewhere.
so easy. Everybody wants to do the right thing, right? Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes,
I'm
oh,
not
let
sure
me.
everybody wants to do
Well,
the
I
right
mean,
thing.
all right, show of hands. Does anybody really want to wake up in the morning and go, let me go violate the code of ethics today? I don't think that's anybody's goal, but it is super easy.
Those people aren't here.
Right.
They're out doing
Thank you for no one
the
raising your hand, by
people
the way.
here want to do the right thing.
So, yeah, thank you for not raising your hand. But
Bob
sometimes
thought
it
about
happens.
it in the back. I
Bob
saw
goes,
that.
I don't know.
That devilish look in his eye.
Where's she going? But it's one of those things that sometimes you can just step in it and not really mean to. And when it's done, you're like, ah, crap, right? But let's see if we can get some of those things in the forefront of our mind before we accidentally step in it.
She's strong. That's a big
Yes,
box
she is.
of
That's a
water.
big box of water.
She just walked by carrying like 20,
The
35
ADD
waters
kicked in
her.
strong with us because we
Well, I
both
saw someone
turned to
walk
people
by.
walking water.
Any thoughts or questions about the market or Sampson or things going on before we close up here? This was a good crowd today.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody coming.
Yes, thank you,
for coming to our
everybody.
Maryland sales meeting. Thank you for all of you guys watching online.
Yeah, and we will be back here later today at our grand opening.
Grand opening,
So
2:30.
open
Come
our
on back
office.
here if you're out of the area. Hold on,
Yes.
we got a question. Yes,
Oh.
ma'am.
Just a quick announcement.
Oh, did you want?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello. Just a quick announcement. You mentioned the Inman Luxury Conference. I do have a ticket, and unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. So they told me to either transfer till next year or transfer it to someone. So if you know or anyone know
Have you bought your ticket?
someone to go,
I have bought
Oh.
my ticket.
if anyone wants to go, reach out.
I've bought my.
She has an extra
Inman?
ticket to Inman, the
Now is-
26th to the
now is
is it
that
the
the one in
26th to
person?
the 28th?
In person.
Okay,
In
so in
person,
Vegas.
okay.
So if you are interested in Inman,
Yes.
it's in Vegas.
All right.
There we go, connection.
There you go. So, Barbara, you can come to Vegas with me for your birthday. So I'm going to Vegas
we got
out there,
another
but got one more.
Oh, we got one more over here.
How you doing?
Hi.
I was just letting you know about the GBBR convention. Right now, you get $25 off if you register by the 15th.
Oh,
Well,
so
good.
$25 off.
Good.
We didn't have
$25
that in
off
the
if you
slot.
register
Yeah.
by Friday.
It's half price right now.
It's half price?
By the 15th. so-
Okay.
Awesome. So register for that, and then come see us
So
at
you
our
got a
booth.
couple of days.
Barbara's short and spicy, and she'll say hi to you. There won't be any microphones
She
there.
is
so
never going to live down the short and spicy.
She's good with it, so I think it's good. But we will be there as well. I don't know if you're outside about that, but GBBR, so register.
we'll be
You got
there.
a deal before Friday, and you can come get your continuing ed, stop by, see us.
Maryland
take some
does a good
classes.
job of that with the all-day CE in person. They do that a really good job with that. I'm going to just say they do a really good job with that. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of associations do things differently, and not all of them.
Yeah,
I
NVR
think
doesn't do any
we
with
don't do
their
any of
big
that.
one.
Yeah.
There's no CE at their conventions, but they've got classes, but not CEs.
Do you require CE in Maryland in person? You can do it online too, right? You can do it online too. Okay. Yeah.
So you can do both, but if
You can do both. Okay.
you can do both, but if you want to get it in person, it is there at GBBR, part of your ticket. You can come by, say hi, and I'm sure those expos will be a lot of fun and some good activities
Yep.
going on. But we are just so thankful for all of our Maryland and
Absolutely.
DC growth. All you guys doing a fantastic job out there, selling properties, supporting Cardinal Title Group. We're really thankful for, and I'd love to see you guys at a grand opening here later today out here in White Marsh if you're in the area.
And it was
come by
so
and say
good
hi.
seeing you this morning. Thank you for coming to join us.
Yes, so thank you all, and have a good day.
Have
We'll
a good
see
day.
you all soon.
See you soon.
Sign up.